Hi, fifth grade orchestra. This is C here. Welcome to another week of our online orchestra. So this week we are continuing with what we had going last week. We are going to go over a couple of songs on Smart Music. We're going to play through them. I'm going to be playing the piano and sometimes the violin. But first off, I'd like to do a little tutorial for tuning your instruments. So I know I taught you I taught you some of the basics during class, but I'd like to take the moment right now to really make sure that we are understanding how to use a tuner and how to make sure that we are right in the center, okay? And if you need to use those pegs, I'm also gonna go over that as well. So here's our tuning video. Hope you enjoy, and then we're gonna start with our Smart Music stuff, okay? All right. All right, hey fifth graders. I have opened up my tuner on my computer here, and it's going crazy because of my voice. Let's see if I can stop it. Nope, no, I can't stop it. Okay. So it's going crazy because of my voice, but here is my tuner that I have completely for free online. It's you can see the URL right here. You can copy that down, and it works best with Chrome for some reason. It's probably because of it asks you to be able to use the microphone. And so when it does ask you that, you can just go ahead and press allow, and then you can start using it. So I have my violin here. You probably can't see it because you're only seeing the screen, but I am going to be playing my strings, and I have purposely made them go out of tune. And so we're going to be looking at how far out of tune my string really is, and we're going to be looking at the screen to make sure that we're really getting that note that we want, okay? So I'm going to start with my A string. First thing off is you need to know what your string is called, right? So if it's called the A string, you're going to look for an A on the tuner. So I'm going to play my A string. It's going to be pretty terrible. So I want you to look at where it says sense, and I want you to look at that little arrow right next to the letters, okay? What you want is both of those arrows to be in the green. I want you to look, I'm going to play it again, and I want you to look at where it's at right now. Also on the bottom, there's a little sliding ruler or a little sliding scale that tells us what the note is, right? Or how close we are to a certain note. So I'm going to start turning my fine tuner, and I'm going to turn it the opposite way. So I'm going to turn it wrong on purpose. So here we go. So that didn't do much, right? It didn't get us to a green. So what I'm going to do now is pretty much tuning is trial and error. So instead of keep turning that same way, I'm going to turn the opposite way. And if you can look at that sliding scale, look at it. The arrow points to which way you need to turn. So it's pointing to the right, right? So it's telling us to turn our fine tuner, right? The little tiny screw at the bottom of the instrument, not your pegs. It's telling us to turn that to the right, okay? And watch the sliding scale as I turn to the right. Here we go. So there we go. I got both arrows to be green, and then my sliding scale was right on A. Now, if you noticed, the cents, it wasn't exactly 0 cents, right? And so you're never going to get, or you might get 0 cents. But it's pretty hard to make it exactly perfectly in tune at 0. yeah, I can't do it. So, the next thing is, I also want to note is that I'm using a nice, long, even pressured bow, okay? If I use a harsh bow, right, it's going to sound terrible. And also, if I use no pressure at all, it's gonna be okay, but it might be a little hard for the microphone to hear. So what I want is a nice steady bow. If I use short bows, this is what happens. Do you see how the scents keep moving constantly? So you don't want that. You want it to be a nice long bow so that it can actually hear you and it can tell you how off you are, okay? So I'm going to do one more string. Here's our D string. Listen and watch. So I want you to look at what note that says. So look again. You see the D, but did you also see the sharp? So it's telling us it's a D sharp. Do we want a D sharp? No, we actually want a D, right? So it's telling us to turn to the right, right? So I'll turn to the right. But is that correct? It's not, actually, because we don't want a D sharp as our string. We want a D, okay? So that means we're really, really off. So we actually want to look at that sliding scale at the bottom, and we want to make sure that we're getting close to a D. In this case, we're not going to turn to the right. We're actually going to turn to the left, okay? So I'm going to start turning left, and let's see what happens. Did you see how it switched from D sharp to D? Right? Now it's telling us to turn left. Watch. And there we go. There's our D. So this might take a little bit of time to do with your fine tuners, right? Because you have to maybe turn one way, and if it's not getting better, turn the other way. But if you do have to use your pegs, what I suggest is you call around, you try and find a neighbor who maybe played an instrument in the past, even if it's not a violin or a cello, if they played, a viola or bass or something close to your instrument, then they can probably help you out. If not, go to YouTube and find a video where they show you how to tune with your pegs. My only thing is, when you're turning your pegs, you cannot make big turns. You have to make really small turns, and as you turn, you need to push the peg in, okay? There's no glue holding those pegs in. It's just friction. So you need to push it in so that it can stick in there, or else the string is just going to go all loose and it's going to unravel, basically. So I hope this helped, and stay tuned for our music part of this video. Alright, I hope you all know a little bit more about tuning. Like I said in the video, make sure that you have a parent's help if you are tuning with your pegs, and if you are not, then you can slowly turn those fine tuners yourself. We're going to get started with number 72. Make sure that you have your book out, and you have your instrument now is tuned. You can stop this video at any time. I realize that my glasses have a glare. I'm sorry, it's really strange. We're going to start with number 72. We're going to take it nice and slow. This is a rhythm rap. We're going to be getting ready for a Buckeye salute, which I know that some of us learned in class. Some of us didn't quite get there, but we're going to keep chugging ahead, okay? So number 72, remember, we're going to start off with a good bow hold. So I want you to put your bow kind of right here at your belly button, or just a little bit above your belly button. And I want you to take your hand, and I want you to make sure it's nice and loose. And then you're going to set up your thumb first, set up that bumpy thumb. Then you're gonna set up your pinky, put your pinky on the stick or over the stick if you're a cello, and then get those other fingers to really hug your bow, nice like that. Okay, so I have my bow like this. So here I am, letting go of my hand, making sure it's nice and floppy, right? Taking that thumb, putting it right there in the crook, and I'm making sure it's bent, placing my pinky, and then I'm hugging the bow with the rest of my fingers. And I let go, flip it over, I should have a nice, perfect bow hold, right? Like that, okay? So make sure you have a nice, relaxed bow hold before we start. Should look like this, right? Should it look anything like this or like that or like that, right? Nice, evenly spaced out, relaxed, and bent bow hold, right? Like that. Oops, sorry. Like that, okay? All right, let's get started with number 72 now. Here we go. 72. If you hear some noises, I have some construction going on in my house, so you might hear some random stuff, and I'm sorry about that. But here we go. 72. Ready? Instruments up, shoulders are back, nice and open, right? Superhero chests, and make sure your instrument, if you're a violin, is nice and parallel to the ground. Cellos, you are sitting up nice and straight at the edge of your chair. Here we go. 72, and we talked about eighth notes last week, so let's just give it a try. Here we go. Remember, there's a repeat and a bow lift at the end. 1, 2, and 72. And lift again. Okay, so let's talk about this now. Our quarter notes are nice and long, right? Ta, or do, day, do, day, do. So notice how for those quarter notes, I'm really taking my time with the bow, right? I'm going nice and slow. And then for those eighth notes, I'm moving it nice and quick, right? So if you have to, go ahead and take a second, reverse the video, and go back and do it just with your bow, right? Ba, 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 right? Instead of using your instrument, okay? And again, it doesn't matter what string you do it with, whatever fingers you do it. This is just a rhythm rap, so it's kind of whatever goes. We're gonna do it one more time. We're gonna go a little bit quicker this time now. So here we go, ready? 1, 2, and ready, go. Long, short, 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 long. And lift. And that's it. All right, one last thing. When you're going a little bit quicker and you're doing eighth notes, you want to make sure you still have control of the bow, okay? You control the bow doesn't control you. So what you're going to do is you're going to be very careful about where you're putting your bow. Remember, and this goes for any kind of any cello or violin, you want to keep the bow right in the center, right? Right around there, in between the fingerboard and the bridge. If you're too close to the bridge, you're going to get a nice scratchy sound. If you're too close to the fingerboard, you're going to get a really soft sound. So you want to be right in the middle. And you also want to be nice and straight like this. You don't want your bow going like this or like this, right? You want to be right in the center and nice and straight. So when you're bowing and you're doing this rhythm rap, I'll do it on the A string just because, right? You want to place your bow Make sure it's straight. A mirror is a really good tool for this, right? If you look in the mirror while you're bowing, it's super helpful. Now, if you don't have a mirror, you have to look at your bow when you're playing and make sure that you're keeping it straight and it's staying in one spot. For example, right? I shouldn't have moved. I don't think I did. But what's also going to help with that is if you are opening from your elbow. So if you are bowing with your arm, look at my shoulder right now. Look at where my forearm is. My forearm meets my shoulder. If you bow like this, then look at my bow. It came off the string completely, and it's really crooked, right? This is bowing with your arm. You want to bow with opening your shoulder, kind of like a door, right? Like a door. Oops. That's a bad door, sorry. Right? Open up your arm like this and you'll stay kind of in the same spot, okay? But looking at your bow is really going to help out with that. Let's move on. Let's do Buckeye Salute. Give me a second. Here we go, Buckeye Salute. This is a fun one. I like this. So the rhythm that we just used for our rhythm rap is the same rhythm that is in Buckeye Salute. That's why we did it, okay? I want you to finger along this first time, okay? And then if you're actually ready to play, then that's fine. But you can finger along the first time. Make sure that you are really putting those fingers on those tapes in the correct spots, right? And you're following along with your eyes as you go in the book, okay? So we're gonna take it nice and slow like this. Okay? Focus on your fingers this time though. Here we go. Ready? And 1 and 2 and ready, go. It's just a little bit right there at the end, but that is the song basically. So what I'm gonna go through now is I want you to pick up your bow and put your fingers in the correct spot. I want you to go through. This time I'm gonna be saying the notes out loud just for you to kind of hear them as you go if you're still not used to reading them. But I want to tell you that this is basically just our D major scale going down, right? D, C sharp, B, A, and then there's a jump, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, E, D, right? But I'm going to go through and say the notes for you, and then I want you to try and play along with me, okay? And then we're going to take it a little faster. Here you go. Ready? And 1, 2, and ready, go. I forgot to say the notes. All right, ready? Here we go. 1, 2, and ready, go. D, 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 C sharp, B, A, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, D, E, and D. Lift, D, E, F sharp, one more time, just a little bit faster. Okay, here we go. And 1, 2, and ready, go. And lift. Keep moving on. We're gonna go to number 79 this time. This is a little bit more of a easier exercise. And this one we're going to focus on the half notes. Now we have talked about half notes in the past because we were working on our piece, right? Our special piece that we got at the beginning of this semester. And we wanted to, we had a lot of half notes in that piece. So right now we're going to kind of review that. Half notes get 2 beats. Quarter notes get 1 beat, right? So our half notes are extra long. So for example, if we wanted to play quarter notes, it'd go quarter, 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 quarter. But half notes would be half, half, right? So number 79, you'll see that you have some quarter notes, and then you also have two measures of half notes, okay? So I want you to focus on those half notes. Make sure that you are using most of your bow during those half notes. Believe it or not, when you're playing long notes, you need more bow, right? So make sure you're really opening up that elbow, right? Opening up your elbow and making sure that you're bowing all the way through that note, okay? Don't stop your bow during that note. Make it nice and steady. You'll probably have to use a slower bow though, okay? So experiment a little bit with this, and I'm sure you're gonna get it. So number 79, I'll say the notes this time, and then you can play along with me, or you can just finger along if you have to, okay? Here we go. Number 79. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, D, C sharp, C sharp, mi, A, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, B, D. Now, did you get tricked by those half notes? So, if you did, we're going to play it one more time. You have another chance. Again, notice this is just our scale going down, right? The only part where you should have maybe a little bit of difficulty if you're not used to it yet is going from A to G. If that is the case with you, then just practice that, right? Stop for a second. Play a nice long open A and prepare your fingers so that they're hovering right above the string, and then put down that G so that it's ready to go right in time, okay? Let's do number 79 one more time. Here we go. Just a little bit faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, D, C sharp, C sharp. Hold it out. Hold it out. Hold it out. Hold it out. Now, I'm going to just play that last measure for you. Remember, measures are those little boxes in music. So, I'm going to play that E to D, okay? And I want you to notice how much bow I use. I'm going to start right at the frog, okay? And I want you to notice how much bow I use for those half notes each, okay? So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, D. Did you notice? I'll play it one more time. Ready? And here it is. I used my entire bow going up and going down, okay? So that's how much bow I want you to use when you're playing this exercise. You might not get all the way to the tip, but I want you to really try to, okay? I want you to try to go all the way, because that way you won't have any trouble later on down the road, okay? It's really easy to get stuck in just one section of the bow, but I really want you to exercise opening that arm and using all the way from the frog to the tip, okay? So we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to a nice one of my favorite songs in this book, but it's a little bit tricky, so it's gonna take a little bit of practicing, okay? It's number 80. It's called Grandparents' Day, and I'll play it with you. And I want you to just go ahead and shadow bow, right? You can air bow like this as you go, and really try to get that long bow. This is a mixture of quarter notes and eighth notes and half notes, okay? So that's why it's a little bit tricky. The notes are not tricky. They are, you can go all the way up to A, but you don't go past an A, okay? So you have D, E, F sharp, G, and A. And that's it. I don't even think you have a G. you don't, okay? So D, E, F sharp, and A, okay? But you need to be aware of where you're gonna go. You're gonna go quick when you're gonna go slow, okay? You need to be careful and aware and very distinct about those differences, okay? So I'm gonna play it once for you on the violin. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. All right, you should end up on a down bow. Up, down. Yeah, on a down bow, okay? Remember, you're starting off on a down bow, okay? So here we go. Let's try this. I'm going to play it nice and slow like that on the piano this time. It looks like I'm just kind of like, you know, sitting here, but I have a piano down here. Ooh, I have a piano, so it's kind of funny when you watch the video. But let's play it now, and I want you to go through. And even if you can't get the rhythms and the notes at the same time, try it just on an open string for now, okay? And I'll go and say the notes anyways, but just try playing the rhythm on an open string and really get your bow to move in the correct direction and for the correct amount of time, okay? So here we go, number 80, ready? And 1, 2, here we go. D, F sharp, D, A, D, F sharp, D, F sharp, E, D, F sharp, D, A, D, F sharp, D, F sharp, E. Now I want you to try and put those all three together. Your bow, your fingers, everything together. Try your best, okay? This is going to be your challenge. And we have one more piece after this. So here we go. 1. We might not have time actually. 1, 2, and number 80. D, F sharp, D, I'm gonna do it anyways. This might be a really long video, but we're gonna try it out anyways. So here we go. Our next one is number 86, which is some of your favorites. It's Ode to Joy. We finally made it. Okay, we finally made it. So Ode to Joy is a really well-known piece. I'm sure you did it last year on your recorders, right? Right? So, sound familiar? So we're going to do it now, and I am going to leave this one to you to practice, and I'm just going to play it through one time. I'm going to play it two times, I'm sorry. The first time I'll say the note names. The second time I will not say the note names and I'll just play it, okay? And what I do want you to be aware is, again, those half notes. Ba, ba. Nice long bows on those half notes, okay? So here we go. All right, ready? 1, 2, nice and slow. D, A, D, F sharp, E, D, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, A, D, F sharp, E, F sharp, E. realized that I'm pretty sure we played this for our concert. So most of you should know how to play this already. We're gonna try it one more time. I won't say any notes this time, okay? Be careful of the, oh sorry, right? In that part, we have those 2 quick 8th notes in there, thrown in there, okay? So here we go. Beginning, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see all of you, I guess I'll talk to all of you next week, and I hope you're practicing. I see that a lot of you are joined on Smart Music, and you know, you're going, and I can hear your recordings, which is wonderful. So please keep that up, and I hope that you're enjoying this time on your own and still making music. So take care, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.